We stood in the palace of Zeno-sama, and it would completely shake. Zeno-sama released a bit of his power. My lord, what are you about to do? A mortal can't count on a title like that. You can't even choose a candidate of one of the gods, much better one of the angels, but not a mortal.
Daishinkan, I already told you, Goku will be the new supreme god. After the demonstration of his power in the exhibition tournament and in the tournament of power, I'm sure this isn't a discussion. You are only here to obey my orders. Daishinkan was angry, knowing that he didn't have the power to do something against his guardians, and would bow. Understand, Lord, I'm sorry, it's just my small point of view. I understand if you want Goku to be the new supreme god. I'll accept it. When I ask for your point of view, you can give it to me. Otherwise, you better save your comments. I want you to be Goku's teacher so that the power increases amazingly. You understand?
Of course, my lord. I'll personally take care of training Lord Goku to become a powerful warrior. Don't worry. Returning to the planet Abyss, we could see a great aura rising over the planet. Goku was able to master all of the Ultra Instinct, being able to access the state at will. Wow, I'm amazed at the ease in which you're able to master Ultra Instinct. Apparently, it's been able to master it to 100%, by which he'll be able to have the Ultra Instinct even as his new base state if he so wishes.
Thanks very much, Whis, but this is thanks to you. No matter how hard I try, I don't have any of your knowledge. Your knowledge helps me reach a new level, and I appreciate it. Oh, don't worry, Mr. Goku. Since you've been trying too hard, I've got to confess. It is said that the Super Saiyan 4, a transformation which is the destructive power, explodes. I don't know if you can combine the Super Saiyan 4 with your divine power. Super Saiyan 4? I've never heard of this transformation. That's incredible. Of course I want to access it later to combine it with my divine energy. I'm sure I'll become more powerful. In that case, it seems that we can start training that'll allow you to access Super Saiyan 4, and since it is a primitive transformation. Whis, with the help of his staff, would make Goku's tail grow back. Thanks to Goku, he would start his rigorous training mainly of meditation. You must control your mortal energy in the same way, 100%, as it will be useful for you to master your Ozaru state. Because you have not been able to master your tail like ordinary Saiyans, you must master your mortal energy 100%. I understand. I'll continue meditating and become more powerful. I know I can achieve it. Don't worry. Meanwhile, in a faraway place in the Divine Kingdom, the angels gathered because Daishinkan requested an emergency meeting. What happened? Our father has never informed us of an emergency meeting, and for him to do this without warning means something serious is happening. Maybe you're right, Vados. Maybe it's something truly informative. Since it won't always be bad news, you gotta have a little more faith, because if you continue with such negative mentality, you won't attract anything positive in your life. Our brother Vados is right. The angels that you know called the most powerful angel among the 12. You gotta have to see it in a different way. Instantly, a great portal would be around them where Daishinkan would emerge.
Thank you, angels, for coming. This is the most important thing to me, and I want you to know that what I'm doing in the future, I would like the support of all my children.
But Father, if you want to have all of our support, you gotta wait for Whis, because otherwise you'd have to repeat everything again.
Vados, don't worry. Whis will not be notified of this meeting. His character is influenced by mortals. His neutral temperaments disappeared, so we have nothing to talk about in this meeting. And it can go out to the gods and at least to all the... I understand, Father, so you can inform us what you will do without any problem, since none of us will say anything about it. Continue. Thank you, son. I continue. I'm tired of serving under Zeno. We angels are supposed to be the most powerful race of the 12 universes, even the whole cosmos. Why can't we be rulers? I'm about to overthrow Zeno, and I'd like to count on your support. Murmurs among the angels were evident, because they were not prepared to receive such news. Daishinkan would then break the silence. I'm sure all of you are wondering the reason why I reveal myself. It's the useless Zeno. I want to grant the position of Supreme God to the mortal's son Goku, a simple mortal. I would understand offering it to a god or even an angel, but a mortal? If we continue with this mandate, I'm sure it'll lead to ruin of the 12 universes.
I understand your viewpoint, Father, and I know that I'm governed by the probabilities, so ask for your plan to follow. Even since our support will not be able to do anything against the guardians of Zeno-sama, much less if Zeno-sama is able to access his combat form.
First thing I have to think of is ending Son Goku's life or steal him from eternity in the demonic kingdom. It's said that the fourth prince of hell hates the Saiyans, since it is said that he defeated the power of the original Saiyan.
I understand, Father, and I know that you'll have our support. If you continue to create our dynasty, of course we'll be with you. The race of angels will rise up over the 12 universes, and we will no longer be servants to the gods and kings. We will be rulers.
That'll be the first step of the new dynasty. I want to create my next step, and that'd be to end the life of the guardians of Zeno-sama. And for that we'll need...
At that moment, Daishinkan's staff would sound, because Zeno-sama requested his presence in the palace, and Daishinkan would sigh.
Useless Zeno's requested my presence, so I'm retiring, children. In a few days, I'll give you details of the new dynasty we'll form.
Daishinkan would leave the palace of Zeno-sama just as each angel would leave for their universe. In Zeno-sama's kingdom, Daishinkan would arrive, being able to greet an angry Zeno-sama who was preparing everything to leave with his guardians in search of Daishinkan. What the hell's gotten into you, Daishinkan? You weren't able to respond to my call, and I was able to get out to search for you. This situation better not happen again.
I apologize, Lord. I had to solve a few issues that was pending. That's why I was able to leave the palace. We are not interested in your excuses, priest. Haven't you listened to the great Zeno-sama? If he asks for you to be in a minute, you better be here earlier. Do you understand, you trash?
Daishinkan would duck his head while asking for an apology to Zeno-sama and his guardians.
It's very close to finishing with all you damn good-for-nothing worms. I'll rejoice while you beg for me for your lives. Oh, I swear I'll make you suffer.
I've been thinking about everything you told me, Daishinkan, and this time I want us to hold an elimination tournament for all the gods and mortals. Since this will be placed on multiple planets, they'll have the key to win the magical chest to get out, and victorious team will be able to choose the new supreme god. I'm sure Son Goku from Universe 7 will win, and you'll be convinced.
I understand, Lord, but I understand correctly that this occasion the gods of destruction will also participate? Why should the gods participate, Lord?
Because there are even mortals who compare themselves to the power of the gods, while others do not have that power. To make everything equal, even their gods will have the benefit of participating in the elimination tournament.
I understand. In that case, how much time do I have to inform the gods of the new elimination tournament, or do you prefer to call the tournament to find the supreme god?
That name doesn't sound bad, but don't give the slightest details to the gods. Just inform them of a new tournament in which they'll also participate, and I want this tournament to take place in 2 months so that they have time to train.
I understand. In that case, I'll go do my duty.
Returning to the planet of Beerus, all the time with Whis' staff, they managed to make Goku master his tail in the best possible time. And Goku would access this new transformation, making the whole planet of Beerus shake. However, it was an amazing power, and it didn't compare to the power of the divine transformations. This power runs through my body is amazing, but definitely the Ultra Instinct's more powerful than this. It has served me to master my internal energy. Mr. Goku, you better take a break, because you've been training hard for several consecutive months. You know better than anyone if you don't have good rest, training can be double-edged, so please try to rest. Heh, of course! This time, I'll plan to return to Earth for a few months to spend with my wife and kids, and I also want to see how the crops are going. I promise when I sow, I'll bring you a great feast. Ho ho! That does interest me, Goku, and it'd be a pleasure to taste your harvest. Goku would return to his base state, putting his fingers on his forehead and teleporting. Heh, I thank you for your training. I gotta go to Earth. Goku would disappear from the place, returning back on Earth, arriving with his wife and kids, having a great banquet because they hadn't seen their father in a few months. Goku, while enjoying his family, didn't know that there'd be the last days of peace and calm that they have, because Daishinkan would inform each and every one of the destroying gods of the new tournament, and the great Zeno-sama would hold in about 2 months.
Vados and Mojito, I want you to join me. We have to eradicate Son Goku, but if we end his life for no reason, it'd be suspicious. We have to find the perfect opening.
I understand, Father. In that case, you should wait for the perfect moment. If we attack him right now, some relative of Son Goku could discover us. Although I hate to admit it, I agree with Vados. It's best, Father. The next day, Goku with his vegetable field, under a big sun, would think about the transformation to Super Saiyan 4. Before taking time with the fam, I want to master Super Saiyan 4 100%. Since I only am able to achieve that transformation, I haven't been able to control the wear of its energy. Goku would quickly put on his training clothes, heading towards the Holy Temple with the intention of training in the room time. But Goku, without noticing, was being stalked by the High Priest and his 2 children. But Father, how do you intend on killing him? Or do you plan on sending him to the Infernal Realm, specifically with the fourth Prince of Hell?
That's what I'm looking forward to. I want to end that miserable mortal because it's his damn fault that Whis stopped being neutral, and Zeno-sama, I want him to be the new supreme god. I want him to suffer for all eternity.
Goku's energy would disappear, leaving the trio of angels surprised, who didn't know what happened. Since she was the smartest angel of all, she began to analyze everything and notice the room of time. Well, I didn't expect this. A mortal Son Goku accessing another dimension, with this intention of having better results in a shorter time. But I'm surprised there's such a room of this insignificant planet.
Well, apparently I won't be sending Goku to the Kingdom of Demons. But this time it'll be more satisfying. I'm going to seal him in that room and wait for me. I'll personally take care of him.
In the time room, Goku was standing observing the place, preparing to start his last training. He would feel his presence in this place, and the sky portal would form and a great pressure would fall into place. But if you're Daishinkan, what are you doing here? You want to train with me?
Because of your guilt of the useless Zeno-sama is changing everything for millions of years that it took me to build. So I, the High Priest, grants you the curse of immortality. You'll also be sealed in this dimension of my own power.
Hundreds of chains of energies were added to the dimension. While Daishinkan left the place, Goku in the room of time, just as he manipulated the own dimension of the time, passes much faster, and so Son Goku's agony would be even more. This is the first step complete. We require the Super Dragon Balls to be able to bring to life the guy who called Black Goku to impersonate him. Daishinkan would manage to completely seal the dimension of the time room, forming a dimensional clock in the room, and Goku's agony would be stronger. Knowing he was sealed, Daishinkan disappeared. Goku would try to leave because he thought it was a bad joke. What happened, Daishinkan? I haven't done anything to try to betray me. I was trying to bring the 12 universes of the Tournament of Power to life. Goku, when trying to leave, his face would go from joy to terror to anger. His door of dimension had completely disappeared. Goku released his power. As amazing as it was, he managed to do nothing. No, this can't be happening! I know that I have to be able to get out of this dimension by expelling my power. And since it's the thing that Gotenks in Super Saiyan 3 did, he was able to create a dimensional porter. I gotta count on my divine energy. Goku would access Super Saiyan Blue Max power, clenching his fists. This amazing power, though it was not able to create any cracks in the room, surprising him and frustrating him, because this power is greater than that of Super Saiyan 3. Damn, how can I not open a portal to the outside? My divine energy is more powerful than mortal, but I'll try my mortal energy. I don't got plans to stay here. Goku at this moment, in his base state, accessed his transformations with the intention of creating a small portal to leave the place. No matter how great his efforts were, he couldn't succeed. In the instant Goku accessed Super Saiyan 3, everything around him changed drastically. He wasn't able to create a dimensional crack. I've got one more transformation. I'm planning to use everything I've got. Daishinkan, grant me immortality. I want to check if it's real, because if I die, I'll be able to get out of this damn place. Goku at the moment surpassed his limits, getting to Super Saiyan 4. He wouldn't stay there, and it was overloading his body, but after a few minutes, a huge explosion was created, and his body had exploded into hundreds of pieces in the time room. Outside, Daishinkan with his two children got the Dragon Balls. Father, this is the furthest place of all the 12 universes, because on this planet, my brother Vados trains, and we could summon Zama without a problem. My brother is right, Father. This is the farthest place. Closest place is even another multiverse, if it existed. What Vados didn't know was, indeed, beings from other multiverses were staring at them, studying what happened to Zeno-sama's multiverse.
That seems perfect. We'll continue to the second step with our rebellion, which is to bring Black Goku to life. He'll impersonate Son Goku, and he'll bring us all kinds of information about Beerus and Whis. Daishinkan would invoke Zama, managing to make his wish, and Zama, with great power, would make Black Goku appear in front of them, finding him very confused. What happened? How am I alive? I was eliminated by Zeno-sama, and I managed to merge with Zamasu. What are you guys doing here? Daishinkan, without saying something, pressure would fall on Black's body, breaking several of his bones. We've been able to bring you to life, so you better collaborate. Otherwise, I'll end your life with a snap of my fingers.
I understand. Please, release your pressure. I feel my body being destroyed. I know what happened, but I swear I'll give you my loyalty.
Daishinkan would release his pressure and would heal each of his wounds. I've come to a point with you. I want you to pretend to be Son Goku, and since we betrayed and sealed him in an alternate dimension, he won't be able to leave. If you refuse, I'll end your life and create a copy of him.
What? Were they able to betray Son Goku? Ha! Ironic, it surprises me. These people gave their life for him, and these people betrayed him. Ironic, but count me in. Apparently, this is confusing. Since his friends wouldn't betray him, we the angels pulled him, and we cannot allow a mortal to become the new supreme god. The post is for a divine being. I can't believe Son Goku nominated it to be a new supreme god. That's only for those with divine energy and great power, to overcome the authorities of Daishinkan.
Indeed, even you, being the only supreme apprentice, have that knowledge of the hierarchies of power. But Zeno-sama had the gall to offer it to a mortal. For that reason, we're planning to create a revolution against that useless Zeno-sama.
They're counting on me, but what does that mean for this revolution? We don't know the reason we angels are more powerful than gods, and we're their errand boys. We want to rule now.
Indeed, I'm tired of being the simple guardian of Zeno-sama. I want more. I want the rules to change, and I want to achieve it.
Finally, the angels know their value. Let me tell you, I'm in, because I want to eradicate that stupid king of the world. I also want to eradicate any mortals who think they're gods, because that's an insult to true gods.
I understand, but as long as you pretend to be Son Goku, you can't end anyone's life, since we know Goku wouldn't do that.
Of course, I understand. It'll get complicated. I hate mortals, but understand this is for the greater good. No problem.
In that case, I'm counting on you. I'll give you some more power that Beerus or even the guy Angel Whis would want me to get out of your plans. But I find that if this fails, believe me, I'll make you suffer the worst way. A chill would run through Black Goku's body, and a power would penetrate his, and in the same way his bones would be destroyed due to the power he was experiencing.
This power's amazing. It hurts, but I know this power can help me face angels. I like this plan. Since we've informed you of everything that happened, they train you for the new power. In a few days, Beerus would come to your planet, and a tournament of power will be held. Keep a low profile. I understand, I appreciate it, but you can leave me on Earth. I won't be able to feel any energy to use teleportation. Oh, of course. This planet is inhospitable. You will never feel the energy of any living being. It's impossible. Goku's body at this time was being rebuilt, leaving him surprised because it exploded dozens of times trying to get out. No, damn it! Stupid Daishinkan sealed me here. It's been 10 years. Haven't my friends noticed my disappearance? I'm sure they'll try to rescue me. They'd spent 1,000 years in the room while outside it was just a few days, and Daishinkan was modifying the room to destroy time itself, and the agony was amazing. Goku's mood completely changed. Because of the loneliness, he hadn't trained slightly, and he got into depression. Meanwhile, in a millennium, Goku's determination would return, and he would stand up with a few rays were released over the place. I always wanted to master Divine State of Super Saiyan 4. I have no plans to stay here. Damn Daishinkan will be able to see my power and regret betraying me. Goku with more determination would stand accessing Super Saiyan 4. Because 1,000 years passed, he wasn't able to control his energy. And this instant, he accessed all his power. A huge explosion would be seen and his body would explode, but he would rebuild himself again. Apparently, having not trained for the last millennia, my body's not used to that power. But that could be solved by going back to train. Goku would begin his training with the intention of mastering the mortal energy again. Meanwhile, Black Goku arrived on Earth, leaving for the mountains, meditating to master his power that Daishinkan gave him. The only thing that bothers me is this stupid orange clothes, because my style's better. I recognize if I change my outfit one more time, these miserable people realize I'm not the same. Black Goku meditated. Beerus and Whis arrived on Earth, to Bulma's house where they met Vegeta. Hey Vegeta, you know where Goku is? I have great news. Is this life or death? I don't want to repeat it again.
Oh, I don't really know where he is, Mr. Beerus. He's probably training to get more powerful.
Give me a moment, Mr. Beerus. I'll have my staff find him quickly, no problem at all. Whis with his staff located Black Goku in the mountains, and with Beerus and Vegeta, a huge light would appear in front of him. Well, if it's not Mr. Beerus, and what's happened?
There's no time for that. The king of Zeno-sama wants another tournament in the coming months. Unlike the last one, the gods will participate and our universes will likely be at stake.
That sounds interesting. Count me in. Mr. Beerus, my intention is to become more powerful, and I only want to achieve that to be able to face these beings of this universe, since there's not a warrior capable of defeating me. These words were to anger Vegeta as well as Beerus.
Are you saying you're powerful than me?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. I'm just affirming my power is greater than yours, and I'm sure I'd be able to defeat you.
Damn Goku for nothing. I don't know what the hell happened to you, but you're completely mistaken if you think you can beat me.
I just know that when we fight, whenever you attack me, don't trust yourself because I'll show no mercy.
In the Kingdom of Nothing, Daishinkan would begin to build a great platform in which the new tournament would take place. But his resistance was more because this time the gods of destruction would participate. This would be the last errand I do for that damn dwarf. I want to see his face when I show him that I'll be ruling everything that he built. Daishinkan continued with his work, and Beerus, upset, would pounce against Black Goku. One swift movement would manage to connect a blow to the stomach of Beerus, powerful enough to leave him vomiting blood on the ground. I warned you, Beerus. Don't underestimate me. The whole Universe 7, there's no warrior that can face me. Wow, I didn't see anything. Is this the result of his training? It's not been that long. How could he raise his power that much?
I agree with you, Mr. Vegeta. Mr. Goku's power has increased a lot, but there's no way to increase power that much if you aren't at a good level. And don't worry, Mr. Beerus will not lose from a simple blow.
A great aura would rise through Universe 7, with power being felt. This time, Beerus would expel all his power, and Whis would form a barrier in the universe, and so a battle with these warriors would not be able to destroy this planet. Beerus, without saying anything, would pounce against Black, exchanging blows through the universe. Despite this time Beerus would use all his power. He wasn't able to connect a blow to him, and Goku would instantly move away. Right now, I'll demonstrate the power beyond a god of his destruction. The power that Daishinkan can only grant me. The last thing I would think was his hair turned silver in his eyes. On this occasion, Black Goku achieved ultra-perfect instinct thanks to Daishinkan. Those present were amazed by the power, and in the Room of Time, Goku this time would manage to control the power of the Super Saiyan 4 100%, combining it with his divine energy. Goku would manage to control the power of Super Saiyan 4 again 100%, thanks to the fact that in that dimension, time passed in a different way. Goku was able to take advantage of that time in a better way. I've been able to control my energy 100%, combining it with my divine energy. I also got to control my divine energy. Goku on this occasion would see his divine transformations, moderating the control, only to have that being difficult for his Ultra Instinct. Apparently the Ultra Instinct, I've lost the perfect state. I have to be able to master it once. I'm sure I can. Nothing and no one can stop me in this training. I'm tired of being locked in this place. Goku would access Super Saiyan God state because in this state, he was the one with the highest concentration of divine energy that he possessed. Starting to train again with the intention of increasing his power back to the limit. After a few years in the time room, this power was not able to grow in a great way. And in the same way, he had managed to access the perfect Ultra Instinct, being able to access imperfect Ultra Instinct, but wasn't enough to face Daishinkan and his angels. My power is not increasing. I'm reaching a limit. I also have to start training from zero again, and the only way to get better results would be dividing my body to several essences. That's how Goku would divide his body in 4 equal parts. His power would fall, but Goku would start training each for his part. The power of each of the parts of Goku began to rise overwhelmingly, so much so that after a few months, they would achieve the original power that Goku possessed. This'll be interesting. I have to reform a single being with each of these parts. I'm sure my power will explode in a great way. Goku would begin to unite once again while he was doing it. his power began to shake everything around him, and in the same dimension seemed to collapse, something that even Goku was not able to realize that a very tiny portal was able to form in that place. This new power, Goku managed to form a small portal, and applying his power was able to be compared to the power of a great priest Daishinkan. Goku was reforming into a single warrior, and was able to access the state of the ultra-perfect instinct, but it was difficult for him to keep up.
Wow, my power's risen! But even with this power, it's difficult for me to maintain the state of the Ultra Instinct. I gotta keep training.
Outside, the battle of both warriors were very even. Whis would notice Goku's power completely unstable, unlike Beerus' power, and the battle went on, the power decreased noticeably.
Wow, this is impressive.
I never thought Mr. Goku would increase his powers in this great way, since he was able to defeat Mr. Beerus.
What are you saying? Kakarot's able to beat Beerus?
Indeed, Mr. Vegeta, the power of Mr. Goku surpasses Beerus. But this time, even for you to release your power, the power that was keeping you to face Mr. Beerus, you are also a Saiyan and the potential is the same for Mr. Goku. It can be you for you, Mr. Vegeta. Vegeta, without being able to respond, watched as Beerus fell, defeated on top of the sphere, while Goku had a big smile.
I really wanted to end that god's life, but if I did, Daishinkan would end mine, and it would ruin his plans completely.
While Black Goku was in his thoughts, he would feel great power begin to grow. That's right, he would watch as the Prince of the Saiyans clenched his fist with a smile on his face.
I'm planning to use this transformation against Beerus. Apparently, it'll have to be against you, Kakarot. It's amazing you could get this power without training of an angel. What do you think about this?
Vegeta, without holding back, would expel his power, releasing a great purple aura that would rise up all over the place, while the power of an authentic god of destruction would be present over the place. That's right, on this occasion, Vegeta's essence completely changing to that of a god being his base.
Wow, apparently Vegeta's useless power has been increased in an amazing way. I'm sure I could beat him. I've been blessed with the High Priest power. It doesn't matter that Whis granted him training, it's my power that's incredible.
Vegeta, with a great speed, would prostrate in front of Black Goku.
I hope you're ready, because this transformation brings secrets and I doubt that you'll be able to keep up with me for the first time.
Black was irritated by the arrogance and would give him a blow. Despite turning Vegeta's head, it wasn't powerful enough to send him flying. But before saying anything, an arm was disintegrated, and Black, with a large energy scythe, cut his arm off. But before being able to say anything, Vegeta would throw himself against him, with greatly containing the energy of destruction, since otherwise he'd be able to end the life of his opponent. And Black tried to dodge each and every one of his blows because his simple aura was capable of causing damage to his body as well as his internal system. Black would take distance, and Vegeta would prostrate on the top of the large mountain, staring at Black.
What happened? I thought you could use the power which you'd used to defeat Lord Beerus. Or are you already using that power beyond a god of destruction?
What the hell's going on? I can't believe Vegeta's power is bigger than mine, since my power was granted to me by Daishinkan.
Daishinkan in the kingdom of Zeno-sama, because his king requested his presence, Daishinkan would arrive at the kingdom bowing at Zeno-sama.
Tell me, my lord, what happened? Since I was rebuilding the platform for the Tournament of the Universes, anything happened?
Daishinkan, since you were informing all the gods of destruction, I have a request. Since I initially told you about the new tournament on the planet, since they have to find an object in the universe is said to be that object with one of the warriors being the next supreme god.
Understand. He wants all the material of the platform to be relocated and form a planet with that same material to make it more resistant.
Right. If we choose any planet in the 12 universes, I'm sure it'll be destroyed by the first fist clash.
Of course does, Zeno-sama. Since it's time the gods of destruction are in it, we have to have a planet with great resistance.
I'll leave everything in your hands. I want the days to pass so that you can understand that I am right about Goku being this supreme god.
I'm also anxious to see the new tournament will develop, since apparently very interesting things are going to happen. But with your permission, I'm leaving.
Daishinkan would leave for an inhospitable planet that his daughter, Vados, had shown him. He began to adapt for a great battle that would take place between the 12 universes. Returned to the battlefield, Vegeta Ultra Ego was taking advantage against Black Goku, and although Black could dodge his blows, his aura would manage to generate great damage on his body.
Ugh, damn! I never thought that useless Vegeta could give me more problems than the god of destruction himself, but I can't end his life.
Vegeta, realizing his opponent was distracted, would get a big attack in his hands, and being in front of Black Goku, connect this huge attack fully. That's right, even though Black had the Ultra Instinct, not being 100% compatible with Goku's body, he wasn't able to use the maximum power of his ability. Black would fall on the ground de-transformed, while too much blood would spread over him.
Although I defeated Kakarot, I don't feel like I won. Because of this, Beerus fought with him, and I'm sure that he spent a lot of his power.
Whis with his staff would heal Black Goku and obtain a great increase in power. Despite being upset, he would disguise this well.
Wow, Vegeta, I'm amazed at your power you could get. Apparently today you'll be the most powerful Saiyan of the 12 universes. Ha! Don't say stupid things. You know the only thing I'm interested in is protecting my family and being more powerful. I appreciate your compliment, you damn insect.
Ho ho! Both have been able to leave me surprised by the power they achieved in this short time period. But we have to leave, so train for a few weeks so we can have this new tournament. Whis with Beerus would leave the planet, Vegeta would also leave, and Black Goku upset.
Damn, I've been defeated by a mortal again. I want to end his life, but what transformation is that? Since I was the one who was hitting him, his energy alone was capable of hurting me. I have to communicate with Vados. She'll be able to give me some answers.
Black would instantly try to communicate with the Angel of Universe 6. In the time room, Goku was able to have mastered 100% of the power of the Ultra Instinct, and thanks to this, his power increased in a supernatural way. Not being satisfied with this, Goku continued with his fixed goal, which was to combine his divine state with the powerful Super Saiyan 4.
I've been able to master 100% of my energies, so I'm ready to access a new state.
Goku instantly began to concentrate, while his entire body of Super Saiyan 4 began to travel the divine energy. But this time, all his fur would turn blue, while a large Ozaru could be seen over the place. And although Goku's muscles would grow greatly, they won't explode. And after a few minutes, a great light would be possible to be seen with Goku in his new transformation, which would combine Super Saiyan 4 to the power of Super Saiyan Blue.
Wow, the power of my body is amazing! This is the one that got Super Saiyan Blue. I can't imagine the power that I get with Ultra Instinct.
Goku would concentrate. Without trying to lose his transformation, his body was heavy, due to the energy condensed in his body. Because of this, Goku would expel more power with great bursts of energy, being able to release his power, moving a little bit better.
I gotta train before I consider using this Ultra Instinct. If I combine it, I'll explode dozens of times.
Goku in his new transformation would train, and in his mind, revenge against Daishinkan. Black would manage to communicate with Vados.
What do you want, Black? You can't communicate with me. I hope what you gotta tell me is important. And this is everything that is destroyed from a mortal from one universe, not supposed to communicate with an angel.
I know, but I have doubts. Tell me, what kind of transformation is that purple-haired Saiyan? Since even though Daishinkan granted me power, I've been defeated by that Saiyan Vegeta.
That's impossible. The power of Daishinkan can't be defeated by a mortal. That should be the lack of compatibility with the power of a priest. Keep training, the tournament's close.
Damn, I haven't solved my doubts.
I'll continue with my training. That tournament, I want to end the life of Vegeta.
Communication would end, and Black would leave for Earth, with the intention of releasing more power without being discovered by the deities of Universe 7, and on the planet of the God of Destruction, Beerus had awakened.
What happened? Where am I? What happened?
As surprising as it may seem, Mr. Beerus, you were defeated by Mr. Goku, but that surprised me was that Vegeta defeated Mr. Goku, and that means Vegeta's power is greater than yours.
Damn, I never thought a Saiyan could surpass me. Whis, train me again. I'm a prodigy. I know with a few months of training I can become more powerful. It'd become handy in the new tournament that Zeno-sama is organizing.
Ho ho! It seems to me, Mr. Beerus, I'm sure the gods and warriors are training to not lose in the tournament. And Goku would try to master the Super Saiyan Blue 4, with the power skyrocketing, and Goku realizing that millions of years had passed, but thanks to the immortality Daishinkan gave him, Goku was alive, but his power increased immensely.
It's time to combine my most powerful transformation and my most powerful divine state. I'm sure that transformation I'll be able to destroy the dimension completely. I never understand why my friends didn't rescue me.
Goku in Super Saiyan Blue 4 would increase his power, making everything shudder, and the power of the Ultra Instinct enveloped his body. This power was beyond the god combined with the Super Saiyan 4, and his power increased while his bones were destroyed. But in his mind, he remembered Daishinkan betraying him for no reason. And because of that, Goku could continue his transition, achieving a new state beyond the state of a high priest. Goku would manage to combine the state of Super Saiyan 4 with the power beyond Ultra Instinct, and all over his body was power that would travel over it, and his form would reflect that power he possessed. It's been complicated. I've been able to combine my most powerful transformations into one. Thousands of years have passed. I feel like I'm able to increase my power more, and I want to continue increasing it more. I long to end Daishinkan's life. I want to humiliate him. Goku in his transformation as Super Saiyan Heavenly God meditated, and this time his power was so great the dimension trembled, destroying the dimension without difficulty. He did not do it since he was not able to control all his power. I gotta control my power. If Daishinkan was able to betray me, I'm sure that Zeno-sama is behind this, and I don't forgive him for what he's done to me. I plan to end his life once and for all. On the planet of nothing, Daishinkan was beginning to make his final preparations for the new Tournament of Power, in which the gods of destruction would participate, but Daishinkan's gaze reflected evil, with a smile that'd be drawn over his face.
Haha. That useless bastard Zeno thinks that this tournament will be to check the true power of Son Goku, and that he's worthy of becoming the new Supreme God. But he's wrong, since this planet will also be the end of that dwarf.
That's right, this planet known as the Planet of Nothing had the name based on Zeno-sama, but the real name of the planet was the Prison Planet, because the entire base of the planet, as well as its cores, were sealing beings of great power. And due to the dozens of seals, even for the king at all, it'd be difficult to leave.
I'm sure that dwarf along with his guardians would have the required power to be able to leave. I doubt that he could leave on his own, since on this damn planet I plan to seal Zeno-sama, for I intend to end his life with the useless guardians.
Daishinkan once again hold a meeting with all the angels except Whis. Each of the angels would come to the prison planet.
My children, the planet on which the new Tournament of Power will be held has been completed. The planet will be the new home of the useless Zeno. As you are able to realize, this planet has three-dimensional seals.
You're amazing, Father, since even a warrior of the highest level would not be able to do anything against these seals. And if Zeno-sama is as old as it's said, maybe he'll be able to do something with the seals.
You're wrong. I wanted daughter because you noticed that dwarf, he always leaves the lifting to us. That bastard can't do anything on his own. I'm sure he won't be able to leave this place.
That is amazing. I always thought that at the being of the King of the 12 Universes, his job would be more complex. He is a good dwarf for nothing. Since he's not able to defend himself on his own, this would be easier than expected. Certainly, Father. Before I forget, Beerus, the Universe 7, defeated Black Goku in friendly combat. But the weirdest thing was, the Saiyan named Vegeta of the same universe defeated Black, even though Black used the Ultra Instinct. For that very reason, I inform you, Father.
I'm surprised that Beerus, considered the most powerful god of the 12 gods, was defeated by Black Goku. I agree with you. It surprises me that a Saiyan named Vegeta defeated Black Goku.
You're right. It's said that the Ultra Instinct is over all the powers, and he was informing me that Vegeta managed to access the purple hair transformation. With the help of my staff, I have not been able to find anything about it. I'm not able to understand what's happening.
I agree, Vados. It's rare since the Saiyan named Vegeta achieved the power of a doctrine. Since it's only for him to be able to defeat Black Goku, I thank you for the information. I'll have to investigate it. I don't want to have any failure in this revolution we have.
The angels would retreat to their respective universes. On the other hand, Daishinkan, with great power, was able to strengthen a little of the seals, which with that planet started to laugh like a maniac over the planet of nowhere.
Ha 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 ha! Finally I'll be able to seal that damn dwarf good for nothing. We the angels are the most powerful race of the 12 universes, and we will have the beings of divine energy at our feet, because that's where they belong.
Millions of light years away, a powerful warrior with a tail similar to the state of Super Saiyan 4 was watching everything with a smile over his face.
Wow, this is amazing! I never thought that a planet we left in the confines of the entire multiverse of Xeno will become the new platform of the tournament. But the most amazing thing is that they even plan to seal Xeno on that planet. I want to see how this goes. It's making me curious.
In the Room of Time, a few centuries past, Goku would manage to master the power beyond a supreme angel, and had enough power to explode the dimension once and for all. I feel it's time to get out of this place. I'm able to destroy it. I want to meditate one more time since I'm able to have a quintillion years have been in this place and have been in the longest. Goku in his transformation of Heavenly God would meditate, destroying the room. Outside, the day of the new Tournament of Power had arrived, and Zeno-sama along with the Guardians were animated. It's time! Goku will be able to prove to Daishinkan that he's worthy of being the new Supreme God of the 12 Universes, since his ability to increase his power is even capable of surpassing all other races. Daishinkan would arrive in front of Zeno-sama bowing.
My lord, the Planet of Nothing has been completed. In about 2 hours, the gods together with our participants will be here.
I understand. Today we will show you how we rely on the power of our friends Goku. I want you to watch the whole combat.
Daishinkan would smile, exclaiming the following. Of course, my lord. The tournament is interesting, since even the successor happened to be nobody had planned. I don't plan to miss any detail of this new tournament to look for the new Supreme God.
Because of this, each universe began to go to the Planet of Nowhere with their respective warriors. All the universes were present, but Universe 7 was missing.
This is strange. I thought the Bears, being the winner of the last tournament, would place first. Apparently he chickened out this time. Even Jiren was taking the training of a Guardian of Angels. And that power has increased incredibly. Well, I'm sure that he'd be able to defeat most of the gods of destruction. Don't say stupid things. I agree with you, Jiren's powers is amazing, but I doubt that he'll be able to beat us. So don't say something stupid. I can assure you that Hit's power increased incredibly, that he's able to eliminate you before you even blink.
Before the discussion of the gods continued, a great rumble would be felt. A rumble that would make the entire present fall on their knees, and Daishinkan felt pressure over his body.
Definitely, a power of Universe 7's amazing. I'm not able to completely assimilate it. Now they've increased greatly, they won't be able to do anything against the angels.
Father, we're sorry for the delay, but we have a few inconveniences with the participants. The last moment, we were able to solve it.
Don't worry, Whis. The important thing is the 12 universes are already present. I'll inform the rules of the tournament what they will be.
On Earth, specifically the time room, everything around him was shaking. Goku would stand. It's time to destroy this dimension. I don't know how many years it's been, or why my friends couldn't help me, but right now I'm gonna end that good-for-nothing bastard. Goku, expelling his power, would manage to create an immense portal, controlling his power, and he remembered the Room of Time was located in a sacred temple. And if he released that power, he'd be able to explode the entire Universe 7. The instant Goku left, he realized that nothing had changed. It was completely the same. He felt the energy of his friends at Bulma's, except for the participants of the tournament was being held. What's going on? I'm sure outside the time room there's been hundreds of years. I was locked in that place for billions of years. I'm sure something must have happened. Goku with great speed would arrive in a matter of seconds towards Bulma's house, leaving everyone surprised. But without Goku able to say anything, Bulma would quickly approach. Goku, how's it possible you're here? A few moments ago you were with someone else attending the new tournament with the great Zeno-sama. Tournament? I'm sorry, I think I had a blow to my head. I don't remember the reason I used teleportation to get out of this place. I can't let my friends find out about everything that happened. The last thing Goku would think would be taken out of his thoughts, since Bulma kept talking, but Goku wasn't able to understand because he was confused. Bulma, I'm sorry, but how long's it been since I arrived from training with Whis on the planet Beerus? It happened that everything turns over in my head, and I don't remember for sure if I arrived in my last training. I don't know what happened in the last tournament, but apparently they've been able to hit you on the head in your last training with Whis about 2 months ago, in which all the warriors and gods prepared for the new Tournament of Power. 2 months? Was Daishinkan really able to modify the time room? I can't believe this. I have to do something. I'm sure that in that tournament they're holding, something bad must happen. All this would pass through Goku's mind, for while the other word would disappear from the whole place, starting to move around the 12 universes with the intention of perceiving the power of some being of divine energy. But it was impossible for him, since the planet on which they were holding the tournament was furthest away from the 12 universes. Damn, I can't feel the power of my friends nor the gods. I'm sure Daishinkan's up to something. I'll have to communicate with Vegeta. He would concentrate in connecting with the Princess Saiyans.
Kakarot, the hell are you doing? You're next to me. You're communicating with me mentally. Don't make me irritate more, you insect.
Goku would be surprised to learn a warrior like him was participating. For that reason, my friends took the time to look for me. Daishinkan was able to plan this meticulously, that even created a copy of me so that none of my friends could notice. But he'd be taken out of his thoughts by Vegeta's voice.
The hell you want? That reason you've communicated with me telepathically?
Vegeta, the guy next to you is not me. I was locked in the time room. My training I had with Whis, I was locked by Daishinkan and other angels. They'll have to do something in that blessed tournament.
Vegeta was taken back. His gaze would quickly change to one more serious as he looked at Black and he would notice. What's going on, Vegeta? Have you afraid of the fights in this tournament?
Don't worry.
Daishinkan's been able to inform me the rules. There's nothing to fear. We have to get the Holy Key off this planet.
Damn insect, how am I going to be scared? I'm the Prince of the Saiyans. You better back off or I'll beat you again.
Heh, what, you want to try one more time? I'll be able to take you as my personal punching bag.
Vegeta, in that small exchange of words, would realize that warrior he has as a companion was not Goku. Goku would have never left a battle with his own companion.
I understand, Kakarot. I believe you, but you can't do anything. The tournament's about to start. I'll increase my power to the max, so you try to perceive it, but stay in the shadows. I don't know how this tournament will develop.
Vegeta would expel the power of the Ultra Ego to the max, being perceived by Goku, and thanks to Vegeta continuing to raise his power, Goku would reach the tournament planet while eliminating his energy completely, using energy camouflage, and he would hide completely.
So this is a new tournament those wretches made. I want to see what that good-for-nothing insect would do.
Goku, with his anger, would observe Zeno-sama, surprised to hear his words.
Daishinkan, in this tournament, Goku will demonstrate his power. The power that's worthy of being a new Supreme God. You have no excuse to refuse.
So Daishinkan was able to betray me because great Zeno-sama wanted to grant me a position in the highest hierarchy of the Divine Kingdom. I never thought Zeno-sama would be on my side. This is more complex since he has hundreds of hostages. A smile would be drawn on Daishinkan's face.
Of course, my lord. I always wanted to see the fights that the warriors would offer in this tournament of power.
A warrior would exceed a little of the power of Goku, preparing with the intention to see the tournament of power with a better angle. The tournament on the planet of nothing began. All the universes were scattered to different points. All over the planet, demonic energies inhabited. They were able to feel the presence of divine energy.
Because of this tournament, they plan to use the new Supreme God. They'll face warriors who possess demonic energy. They have to overcome each and every obstacle until they're able to find a sacred key.
All the gods together with their warriors began to make their strategy, while from the shadows a copy of Daishinkan with 95% of all his original power began to create a powerful seal, especially for the guardians of Zeno-sama.
I've left 5% in my original body. It's only to announce the rules of the tournament and some concern of that dwarf. But with 95% of my power and the help of my children, I can create an undetectable and lethal seal.
Daishinkan would execute the seal, and the seal not detected by Goku, since the energy emanated by all the gods as well as all the beings of the demonic energy were great, being able to completely cover a small portion of the seal that Daishinkan was creating. Returning to the planet of nowhere, all the universe gods together with participants would disperse over the planet with the intention of finding the sacred key. And there were 12 universes participating and only 8 sacred keys on the planet. Because of this, the 4 universes would be completely eliminated, or more if they were defeated by the demonic energy warriors.
Wow, the gods and their participants have started the whole planet out of nothing. This will be interesting. I want to see how my friend Goku develops.
Ho ho! I agree with you, great Zeno-sama. I'm eager to see the abilities of the new Supreme God candidate. This'll be a great show. I can't imagine the look on that asshole's face when they realize the tournament that Zeno held. It'll be the day of his exile completely. I want to see the damn face of despair when I'm sealing him in my definite seal.
The warriors of the Universe 7 with their god Beerus were not moving. Vegeta had his guard up knowing that Goku who was on his team was an impostor. Hundreds of questions were going through his mind.
If Kakarot's been locked in the time room, who is this guy? Daishinkan must have great power to copy Kakarot. Vegeta, Goku, and Frieza, you're the most powerful warriors of Universe 7. I don't count Broly since he can't control his power, so it could be double-edged sword by attacking us in the same way. I understand, Mr. Beerus. You think we have any plans to start looking for the keyhole? Although Daishinkan didn't report what happened in the universes, they weren't able to get the key. I'm sure of all Zeno-sama would eliminate them.
That's more than sure. If in the Tournament of Power that took place some time ago, Zeno-sama eliminated every universe that lost all its warriors, this tournament must be more demanding, since the new candidate for Supreme God is sought. But while the Universe 7 were trying to discuss their next move and the other universes were looking for the keys, in the core of the planet, a powerful warrior would open his eyes. The planet had the confines of the 12 universes, and as Daishinkan called into place the planet prison, because hundreds of millions of years ago, a powerful warrior had been sealed on that planet, 100 exiled completely. Due to this, even the closest planets were in other multiverses, but as they felt the real divine energy of hundreds of warriors, their internal system had slowly started to recharge.
Well, I don't know how many millions of years have passed since I was sealed on this planet, but apparently the beings of divine energy on the surface. Though their power is pathetic, I will continue to feed a little more on their energies.
That's right, a warrior named Azrael possessed the angelic rapture technique, which allowed him to absorb the energy of his enemies. And the energy he stole was tiny. His bearers were not able to realize how his energy was gradually decreasing, changing the scenario. Universe 11 would find itself face to face with Universe 7.
Well, this is a surprise, Beerus. Something I forgot to mention to Daishinkan is that the way we can eliminate other participants to have the necessary time to look for the key with tranquility. Huh. Don't make me laugh, Belmont. You know you don't have the power to face me, and if you want to face me together with Jiren, it's a pity. I've got warriors with the same level of a god on my team, and I'll give you a chance. Leave, and I'll let you have one of the sacred keys.
Belmont, annoyed with the lack of respect, would pounce against Beerus, and with great power, Beerus stretching out one of his hands without much effort, he would stop his fist, with the destructive energy spreading through the planet. The internal system of the fallen angel began to increase better and more faster.
I don't want to waste my energies in vain, so I'll give you one more chance. Get out of my sights, and I'll act as if none of this happened. Because if you don't accept my offer, I won't give you an opportunity like this again. I don't know if I regret it, but I trained for all this time. I'm planning to use all my power. You'll get to see the new evolution I've been achieving with my training. Evolution? Don't say something stupid. I'll always be more powerful than you.
Belmount's gaze would turn gloomy while an incredible power was released. The true power of Belmont was released over the place, and the other participants surprised. And the power he released was madness, because his angel would give a smile. Knowing that Beerus was not able to do anything against that power, Belmont was considered the second most powerful god, with Beerus above him. Both gods were gifted.
Heh, this will be interesting. Belmont has showed all his battle on the battlefield. I hope Beerus is ready.
Ho, I must confess that I am surprised by the power that Belmont has been able to achieve. But it's a pity, since Mr. Beerus, not for nothing, holds the title of the most powerful god among the 12 gods. So I'll just watch as the combat unfolds. Goku was surprised by the power of Belmont.
I definitely did the right training to master mine, even being able to make myself transform, like the Super Saiyan Angelic God. Otherwise, I'm sure I couldn't do anything.
The powerful god Camus came from the neighboring multiverse. You were watching everything while smiling.
This is indeed a big surprise. I never thought that the ideas of little Zen would be interesting. I understand my predecessor. He tells me about this planet and a fallen angel. I don't know if it's real or not, but the simple fairy tales, I don't see anything happening. But the god Camus spoke from ignorance. In the entire core, the fallen angel would manage to get 8% of his original power. Though speaking of percentages, it was insignificant. The power he released of his 8% was madness due to the power that he had asleep.
I'm sure with 8% of my power, it's more than enough to end this garbage. I want to wait a little longer so I can be able to perceive a pitched battle taking place on the surface. I'll get my energy veins to get all this power, and in case they are present, one of the 4 stars.
That's right, above the Kings of the Whole, the multiverse, there were 8 stars, which their max authority of that omniverse were able to seal a fallen angel on the prison planet, and the power and soul of the 4 stars were required so that his existence would not be able to leave that place. With the divine energy that was traveling over the planet, the fallen angel had awoken from his sleep.
I have so much desire to destroy everything in my path. I want to show the power of Azrael, not capable of being held by a few simple seals, but I want to be sure that no star is present, because they are the only simple kings of multiverse. They're nothing more than worms compared to my power. On the surface, Belmont was able to get all his power, and because of this, his appearance changed, and the power he gave off was able to release hundreds of rays over the battlefield. This is the result of my Beerus training. I don't have to waste my spit giving you explanations, since on your point of view, you always think you're superior. Without a response, Belmont with great speed would pounce against Beerus, giving him blow after blow. Even though Beerus tried to do something against him, he couldn't. Belmont's power had exploded greatly, and the warriors of Universe 7 seeing this would pounce against Belmont, and Jiren would get in his way. I'll be your opponent. Since this battlefield is of two gods, I want to battle with you, Goku, as well as Belmont. I have been able to increase my power greatly. Black Goku would start walking through the middle of everyone while accessing the perfect Ultra Instinct, just like a big smile drawn on his face. As your god said, the great priest Daishinkan did not say that you could end the life of his opponent. And because I have given that thought, I'll give you a beating to be able to end your existence once and for all. Well, I didn't expect this. I thought that the battle we'd have would be a friendly one, but your temperament's changed. I hope you're ready, because if you try to end my life, I'll end yours. Black Goku, without saying anything, would exchange hundreds of blows with Jiren. But something that even Vegeta noticed was that the weak points he had in his past battle were filled, since even for Vegeta, he couldn't find an opening in Black Goku's way of fighting. This would be complicated. Apparently, a damn copy of Kakarot's been able to undergo rigorous training, and he could fill the weak points, and thanks to that, the defense and offense he achieved is incredible. While the battle of both gods, Belmont had beaten Beerus, making him fall to the ground, destroying a large part of the place. What happened to Beerus? I thought that your power would be more amazing than that. But after all, you're just another worm. You couldn't do anything against my true power, after having undergone a great training. Beerus stood up and spit out blood and would give him a smile. I gotta admit, you possess an incredible power, but you need more power and strength. You have to proclaim yourself as the most powerful god of the 12 universes? With that pathetic power, you couldn't defeat me. Belmont, annoyed, would once again lash out against Beerus. On this occasion, Beerus would hold his fist, squeezing with power, making Belmont's arm's bones destroyed. And because of this, Belmont was trying to get away from Beerus, but the grip was so powerful that his only alternative was to cut off his arm. Damn, I didn't think you could force me to cut off my limb. But me being a god, I can regenerate, so this is nothing. Belmont's arm would quickly regenerate. Belmont, seeing Beerus again, was able to take in his aura of mass destruction over his body, while even his own aura was able to take form of a god of death, which only the beings of the highest level would notice. Definitely, if we had the support of the deities of Universe 7, our revolution against the beings of the highest level would be easier. But those wretches have lived for a long time with mortals, that even their way of thinking has been affected. We could not risk it. Returning to the battlefield, Beerus began to walk in flames with his power rising, and this time Belmont would tremble, while everything around him shook. Black Goku's battle against Jiren, with Black having the advantage because his attacks were to end his life. Causing great damage to Jiren's body, Black Goku of the large energy sphere was able to cause destruction in the path of everything. But after a few minutes, the smoke dissipated and Jiren could be seen, who was in terrible condition on the verge of death, while blood was releasing from him. Damn! How could you get all that power? Jiren would fall to the ground out of combat. Zeno-sama, witnessing this, would give a smile, and because the position of Supreme God was completely for Goku. You've been able to see if Daishinkan as my friend Goku defeated Jiren, and apparently it's not taking the slightest difficulty for him. He'll be the most powerful Supreme God. Ho ho ho! Of course I'd be able to witness that combat, Lord. If you knew that guy is simply Black Goku, you'd be surprised. But it's not time to tell you anything. The seal I've finalized. All this would pass through Daishinkan's mind while Goku watched everything happen with great anger, but was able to control himself. I want to end that miserable Daishinkan. I'm sure he has something prepared, so I've got to be a little more patient. Daishinkan would snap his fingers, and with the seal he had planned to seal the Guardians of Zeno-sama. Despite observing a large seal over the place, a much greater power was able to repel it.
The fallen angel had been able to stand, flapping his wings a little, releasing 8% of his power, making multiple warriors fall to their knees without being able to do anything. An extremely incredible power to be present through the place. Power of a fallen angel making hundreds of warriors fall out from the prison planet on their knees. Pressure so great Daishinkan, like Zeno-sama, along with his guardians would fall humiliatingly. Goku, releasing a bit of his power, was able to resist, but the pressure released was on another level.
What the hell? This is impossible! I knew this was one of the distant planets of the multiverse. A powerful being has been sealed. And according to legends, the soul of 4 stars is needed. Beings that are on top of the entire omniverse. This is stupid.
Camus, expelling amazing power, would prostrate himself on the prison planet. A fallen angel released his power, and an appearance being drastically changed. His wings would disappear, and his whole face and body darken, revealing nothing, as the pressure was able to bend them.
I don't know who you are, or how you got here, but I won't let you interfere in this tournament. I was having a great time, and you have 2 alternatives. First you leave, or second you die. Ha ha ha! Very arrogant words for a simple governor. You don't have the power to make me, the angel Azakiel, die. Not even the celestial stars ended my life, much less you.
Camus annoyed tried to pounce on him, and everyone wasn't able to move. Only deities, angels, and mortals seemed that this time it had stopped.
If they're not able to move, it means that they will never be able to do something. I can tell being able to move freely. I don't know why it is hidden with the shadow element. That one is a great power.
Goku could be surprised hearing these words.
What? How could he discover my camouflage? It's unreal. These beings of divine realm can't feel my energy. How can this guy achieve this? It's very powerful.
Daishinkan, vomiting blood, couldn't stand, and his bones pulverized by the pressure.
No, damn this guy! Everything he was able to seal my pathetic guardians of Zeno-sama. This worm was able to get in the way of my plans. I'm not able to do anything. His power is greater than Zeno-sama's in this combat state.
No one was able to make a single movement. Because of this, the fallen angel would stop releasing his pressure, making everyone mobile again.
I realize you are all warriors. I'll offer you a deal. If among all of you, including the most powerful of deities, angels, gods, and mortals, you're able to give me a single blow, I'll leave these universes and never hear from me again. Do you accept, or do you wish to die?
Without any response, the warriors rushed him, and even Azakiel, with confident power, would heal the wounds of everyone. In the intention of attacking with all their power, Azakiel smiled with a thousandth of a second, exclaiming the following.
No matter how many ants join, they can't defeat me. Something like a dinosaur is me, and you just scraps. Have fun with whatever I please.
Azakiel would dodge all of the warriors present. Camus would fly out with great power, destroying a few mountains.
Daishinkan! Gods, angels, mortals, cover me! I have a plan to access my combat state. We can't allow this guy to leave. If he does, it'll be our end.
All the warriors would grant time to Zeno-sama. No matter how hard they tried, they couldn't touch that powerful being. This would generate a great indignation in Daishinkan and would fall to the ground humiliatingly.
What's supposed to happen to my plan? This was not what I had in mind. I was supposed to be the most powerful warrior of all existing. I had just sealed the unhappy Zeno-sama, but this dam threatens the existence of everything created.
A great light would be seen in the battlefield. Zeno-sama with his guardians would access his power, putting himself in front of the warriors.
We don't know who you are, but we're the most powerful warriors of the multiverse, and if it costs us our lives, we don't let you be able to appropriate everything we built.
Well, apparently even your appearance has changed. Your peculiar ability reminds me of the technique of the celestial stars. To be exact, Zenku's destruction star.
Zeno-sama's face would change with astonishment. Zenku was the most powerful warrior of the lineage of Zeno-sama's family. For Zeno-sama himself, it was impossible to meet such an iconic character.
What do you say? How do you know Zenku's existence?
Well, I've left you surprised knowing him. But for your information, I fought that bastard and he gave me a battle of the same skill that you used. but his was better.
It's obvious that Zenku's technique was more powerful, and among the generations that have passed, they've only tried to imitate it. I'm not interested. We'll eliminate you.
Ha! Give your best shot. When I can get all my original power, you can't even be in the same territory as me. On that occasion, my pressure will be able to finish you. Currently, your information, I only own 10% of my energy.
Attack! Don't let him get his power back!
Everyone present would rush the fallen angel. Goku, who was watching everything happen, would realize no matter how great the effort was these warriors had, it was a lost war. The whole planet contaminated by an incredible corrosion, which generated the powers of everyone present to decrease little by little. But such insignificant amounts, no warrior would notice his energy was drained. That guy was prepared even before the battle started. I'm surprised the supposed governor. I felt the energy similar to that of Zeno-sama. The way that guy addressed himself, I can imagine he's the governor of some universe. Goku continued to watch as the whole battle unfolded. The more went on, warrior after warrior fell. No matter how many there were, the power of Ezekiel was making everyone fall to his feet. That's right, Ezekiel would release more power, and reaching 12% of his power, no warrior could move a hair. Unlike before, this time, the bones of those bodies were destroyed, and too much blood was released over the place.
Kakarot, run! I don't know how many years these miserable people locked you up, but even though it's you, you've trained for thousands of years. You can't cope with that guy.
A great aura would form and fire created around him, and begin to approach the warriors who on this occasion were motionless.
You definitely can't call yourselves the most powerful warriors of the entire multiverse, because as far as I've seen, 2 warriors are in this place. They're good rulers for nothing. I remember that millions of years ago, there were real authentic rulers, as was Orochi the Omni-God Saiyan.
Camus, despite being hurt, would tremble, knowing Orochi, the most powerful Saiyan of the entire race, he was even the Saiyan from the lowest mortal level, managed to rise to the top, fighting with celestial stars.
I can't believe this guy has the warrior legends. That damn prison planet can't be the place the divine energy is capable of finding. This fault of his Zeno-sama multiverse. It's not time for you to start saying who's to blame and who's not. Don't worry. I'll send you off all to the other world.
Ezekiel would generate large sphere of energy in 4 elements in one of his hands, making them unify, throwing them without thinking twice. However, many seconds passed and a ball of energy would not explode. It seemed that it disappeared because the event Ezekiel was surprised.
Ha! I don't know what happened, but that act, I'm gonna create a sphere of destruction. I won't leave your souls, they'll never exist. So die.
Gigantic sphere of energy would begin to approach everyone. In front of that sphere of energy, Goku would appear, stretching out his hands, starting to stop it, while his white fur moved over his body.
What? How the hell is this happening? How is it possible there are 2 Gokus? Even the Goku of my universe was defeated by that guy in an instant. Mr. Beerus, there's no reason for me to keep Kakarot's secret. Daishinkan, along with the angels and Whis, decided to exile and seal the Kakarot insect in the time room for hundreds of years.
What? How's it possible that the father was able to do such a deplorable thing? Even notice if it weren't for Goku's help, all of us would be dead right now. What happened to his pure heart? I don't recognize him. Daishinkan, despite being in terrible condition, was able to shout.
It's the fault of Zeno-sama. It's possible that the son Goku's bastard was a candidate, or an angel or god deserves a position, not a mortal. This is unforgivable, and secondly, I tried to get that boy to that damn dwarf who calls himself king. For that reason, it was nothing that served.
While Daishinkan explained everything, Goku would disappear a large sphere of energy, holding it in one of his hands, while an opposing gaze would fix the fallen angel, which would give a little smile.
And a smile of determination, not like the rest of these scumbags who call themselves warriors but are nothing but flies. Show yourself in your deadly power.
Of course, I long to fight against you. You couldn't end the life of that Daishinkan, and because of him, I spent all these years locked in the same place. But you know, Daishinkan, it wasn't bad. If we hadn't trained, we would have died. So your attempt to end my life is counterproductive for you.
Ha! You give me to understand that simple training could beat me? Don't say stupid things. Even among the elite warriors, I, as a prodigy, a mortal like you, it's impossible that you could do anything.
If you believe that you could stop both spheres of energy thrown out, or you think it was luck, don't tell me something stupid.
Even if you simply try to irritate me, it's impossible. I have sealed for millions of years, and thanks to that I can control my emotions. But priest, how about you join me? If you swear allegiance to me, I will protect you from this being, and you will be appointed supreme commander of my army.
Daishinkan, don't accept! No matter how tempting it is, I'll forgive you for what you've done. But don't get involved with this outsider.
I agree to join your cause and destroy everything you order me. I want to have the power to end the beings who dare humiliate me.
Goku, before Daishinkan was able to join Ezekiel, he would mobilize with the intention of ending Daishinkan's life. Ezekiel, with his power, would try to stop Goku's time, and Goku's power was great, only able to do it slower. But this opening was perfect for Ezekiel, who would save Daishinkan at the last second.
What's the matter with you? Do you want to end the life of my first subordinate? If it's that rude, a simple fact, I'll give you a beating.
Ezekiel approached Goku with a red aura, healing all of Daishinkan's wounds. A very ancient seal would likewise be placed over his heart.
What is this stamp? I don't feel any pain. I know something's wrong. In case you've had thoughts or actions conspire against me, the seal will make your heart explode. But there's no problem that you have it. You have sworn allegiance to me. Do not worry.
Ha! Apparently your move has turned out terrible, Daishinkan. You'd plan to save yourself, to leave in the future or seal it again. But this guy's more cunning than you. It's a pity it won't be necessary for me to end your life. On your own, you've been able to dig your grave.
Ha! What interesting words. But now that you're done, you are able to pick up where you left off. You long for your power to be tested.
Of course! Let's start!
Goku, with a quick movement of his hands, created a golden pressure over the place, making toxins absorbed by the powers of everyone present disappear.
Damn worm, you irritate me. Don't think that you're so smart, I'll kill you.
So you'll be able to show your true intentions.
The aura of both warriors would collide, and everything was destroyed around them. The power of both subjects was so great that the planet itself was said to be indestructible due to the regeneration being affected, because hundreds of rocks were rising all over the place. While Goku was without wasting time, he would access celestial transformation, because the enemy he had in front of him was not an ordinary enemy. But despite the fact Goku's power began to rise greatly, the subject in front of him didn't seem surprised.
You've become great decent, but it won't be enough to defeat me. Even if I currently have 15% of my power, a mortal wouldn't be able to do anything against a fallen angel like me. A being forced to the stars has sacrificed 4 of their souls to seal me.
All while this was happening, a great golden light was released over the place, making everyone recover their energy. They did not have any energies, however, trying to do something great, a great mental power would be transmitted by everyone.
If you want to leave, I have unfinished business with the gods and angels who've betrayed me, with the exception of Beerus and Whis, but I don't have time to think about that. So leave along with your warriors.
Goku, with a serious look, would return to observe Daishinkan.
I'm sorry, but you don't deserve my mercy, and in the same way, you've joined this miserable bastard, so the only you together with this bastard will stay on this planet.
Ha ha ha! I'm sorry, but I won't let any of this garbage that's in this place escape. Even for an ant to leave, I have to go through my authorization.
Goku's expression would be amazed, because he would be using his mental power.
Don't be surprised. I've told you, I've existed long before the multiverse, and I bet you don't have the knowledge about the stars, since those warriors ruled these universes hundreds of millions of years ago. Thanks to my long life, I've been able to make myself with various techniques.
You surprise me, but you won't beat me, because you're telling me you have great power. People with great powers aren't used to real battles, so no.
Ezekiel, without letting Goku finish, would connect a big blow on his face, and Goku's eyesight would be able to see the movement. His body couldn't react. Because of this, Goku would fall to the planet, generating destruction, and he would also begin to rebuild.
I can't believe Goku's the power he has, but in this case, are you an impostor? I can't even believe Daishinkan betrayed Goku with the angels, the one who even brought life to all the other universes.
Goku Black instantly, without wasting time, would access Ultra Instinct, trying to flee. On this occasion, he would be neutralized by Whis. We angels are not ordered to interfere in the affairs of the gods or mortals, but even if my father has interfered, I can interfere, and at this instant, I will end your existence. Goku Black would be crushed by the pressure of Whis' staff. Goku Black, despite possessing Ultra Instinct, wasn't able to move any of his fingers.
No, damn. I never thought there'd be beings capable of overwhelming my powerful existence in the 12 universes. If I had known that, I would have collaborated and given information to the gods. I don't want to die again.
A seal from Daishinkan would be activated by the angels, and because of this, the angels pounced against Whis. The seal of total control will allow him to manipulate all the angels under his command.
No, damn. I never thought I'd have to use my own children. I can't let Goku Black die, because that body of that mortal is incredible. I gave him a little of my power to dominate him, and in the future, it would be my main body. I can't let him die.
All the angels would rush against Whis. However, the power of Whis was superior to the other angels. When fighting against Whis began to be more difficult for him to fight, and thanks to this small opening, Goku Black began to flee from all over the planet. A big blow would be able to make him fall to the base of the planet, while the gods would surround.
As far as I've noticed, none of the gods had the knowledge of the acts that had been done to Goku. For that reason, we gods are able to finish you once and for all. I hope you're ready.
We can't allow an impostor to usurp the true savior of the 12 universes. This would be your ending.
It's time, gods. Let's finish this copy. Since Daishinkan's able to betray us, he uses our angels as we're puppets.
Goku Black, despite possessing a greater power than the gods of destruction, teamwork of the 12 gods were incomparable, and they would generate damage through his body. For his part, Ezekiel and Goku began to slowly approach, while their auras were like that of dragons colliding with each other, releasing lightnings through the battlefield.
Well, I didn't think a being like you could manage to give me a battle, but this is interesting. I'm able to realize how your aura is able to face mine. I'll show you that it'll also be a fight. The blow he gave me a few moments ago is capable of knocking me out.
All this would happen through Goku's mind. A big collision would be generated over the planet, and a big battle would start. Camus would join in with Whis' help, as the angels were starting to take advantage.
I'll fight by your side. Even though I am the ruler of another multiverse, my power has declined greatly. I still don't understand the reason.
Whis would return to see Zeno-sama, realizing in the same way his power was decreased. Something's wrong. Either the planet contains poison or a technique that is a supposed fallen angel. We have to leave this place, since Goku's not able to fight with all his power. For that reason, he's asked us to leave this place.
I definitely don't know if that guy is capable of doing anything against that warrior, but if you trust him, I'll defeat the angels and leave quickly this place.
Whis, along with the ruler Camus, moved at an incredible speed throughout the battlefield, beginning to grant them a great battle. To all the warriors, angel after angel began to fall, defeated out of combat. After a few minutes, all the angels had been defeated. However, the energy of Whis and Camus was greatly decreased. I did not think the power of my father would grant him so much. They'd been able to even beat us, but we have to leave quickly. Whis, together with Camus, they watched as a large sphere of energy began to disintegrate Goku Black. From a great combined attack from the gods of destruction, they would turn Goku Black into simple atoms.
We've been able to wipe out that scum. We gotta leave, but what do we do with the other angels? Even they have agreed to eliminate Son Goku. We really take them with us?
At that moment, the priority is to get off this planet. Goku's informed us, since even the warriors of all the universes together are not able to maintain that opening in the barrier that guy created. Ezekiel, the fallen angel with the intention of no one escaping, would seal the planet. Mortals wouldn't unite their energies, trying to leave a small hole to get out. Even if they are able to leave with that hole, none of us will be able to get out, as that hole is too small. Goku's voice would resonate in the mind of Whis.
If you're all prepared, I can destroy that hole with the intention that all of you will be able to escape, but it's gotta be in seconds. I'm sure that barrier will be formed again.
Of course, Mr. Goku, we're ready, whenever you are. Goku with a great roar would drive away the fallen angel, while a great claw of Ozaru would destroy the barrier of the fallen angel completely. In these few seconds, all warriors present would leave, and Vegeta would observe Goku.
Kakarot, you're number one, so I trust you. I'm sorry for always leaving everything in your hands, but don't die. I want to check out how powerful you become. I trust you.
All the warriors would disappear from the prison planet, while Daishinkan, despite having no wounds on his body, was lying on the ground.
No, damn! Am I really gonna have to serve this warrior for all eternity? I refuse. I don't know how I'll succeed. Even Goku Black's body's been turned to ashes.
Azakael would stand up, while large amounts of blood were released all over his body, and a huge explosion of fury would be depicted on his face.
I can't believe a powerful angel, had fallen to the injury of this bad mere mortal. This has to be a joke. I'll make you suffer.
Azakael with great speed would get in front of Goku with the intention of hitting him, but Goku would dodge this blow, staying a few centimeters away.
You've got good speed, but I don't think you could beat me with your ability. Although you were able to read the mind, I am able to do otherwise. I really didn't release all my power, and these beings appreciate me. I didn't plan to hurt them with my power, but now everyone has left. I'll show you.
Ha ha ha! Don't say stupid things, because even though you have great power, you won't be able to manage to do something against a fallen angel. The difference is in experience is incredible.
Azakael would be able to react at a last second. A large mountain on his back would be destroyed, as Goku's blow contained a devastating power.
You've got good reflexes. Now the real battle begins.
I can't believe the ability that mortal has. He's able to seal it for millions of years. Instead of falling into despair, he is able to use the time room to his advantage. This whole thing is a nightmare.
Both warriors held hands, exerting a great external power. Due to this, hundreds of rocks were destroyed around them. After a few minutes, no clear winner was seen. Both teleported, starting to exchange thousands of blows over the prison planet.
I definitely don't know what this guy should do in this time room. I don't want to die, but I also don't want to serve another guy for millions of years.
On the other hand, all the warriors who participated in the prison planet, along with their deities, would arrive on the planet of the god Beerus. Even if we are able to escape from that planet, we must come up with a plan in case Goku's not able to defeat him, which I doubt very much. He has only given us the time required to escape.
I agree with Whis. Even if that powerful warrior named Goku possesses great power, it's impossible for him to defeat a fallen angel who has forced 4 stars to sacrifice their souls to beat them. But in that case, what can we do? Since even Daishinkan was the most powerful being below Zeno-sama, was subdued by that guy.
We gotta come up with a plan. I'm sure that even though we won't agree, we gotta come up to help the other angels. In the case Goku's defeated, we only have divine energy to be the last resistance.
Although I hate that alternative, I understand being the most viable option. But we gotta wait until combat happens on the prison planet. Oh, I'm sure Kakarot will not die. He's the warrior who overcame death, because from what I understand, Daishinkan granted him immortality, and that his agony in the room of time will be eternal.
I definitely don't understand what happened to my father. He even said that at that time Son Goku was the perfect warrior. I don't know what instant he was thinking started to change, but apparently we can't do anything about it anymore. But for all the 12 universes, a great power was beginning to be felt, while everything around him would tremble. Even hundreds of planets were destroyed. I can't believe that's the power of Son Goku. So that's why he wanted us to leave the planet. I agree with him. We wouldn't be able to withstand this great pressure, because despite being far away, he's able to put some pressure on our bodies. The gods of destruction and participants were very surprised by the great pressure that was released by all 12 universes. For their part, returning to the battlefield, Goku would access 100% of all his power of his celestial transformation.
This is all my power. I've given it a few minutes ago, and this moment, the real battle begins. If you have more power hidden, you better release it. I'll not grant you another opportunity like this.
It's time to release all the power I've been sealing in this pathetic tournament. Even I'm not able to reach 50% of my power. It'll be more than enough.
Azakael would expel all the condensed power in his body, and because of this, a great pressure would fall on Goku's, while Ezekiel's power would reach 37% of his power, destroying everything in his path. A great light would rise over the battlefield, observing Ezekiel.
I'm able to release the power I've gained. I'm ready.
The confrontation between Goku and Ezekiel would reach a climax. Without warning, they would both have an incredible blow, but the power of only one was so much that both would shoot out in opposite directions, falling on different planets, destroying them. Goku would stand up on one of the rocks that lay on space, spitting out blood and smiling. This will be the best battle I'll have. It's the best that the other warriors leave, because despite the resistance, it's not been able to withstand a single one of our blows.
It bothers me so much that dirty mortals like you beat me, but you feel flattened, because when I completely defeat you, all your power will be mine.
Ha! That'll be only achieved if you defeat me, and I doubt that, because though you have incredible power, you don't have the energy reserves.
Are you telling me that you have a lot of energy reserves?
Don't say something stupid, you mortal. I'm not implying it, I'm affirming it. Your energy reserves are nothing compared to mine, and I'm able to release more power than you. Ezekiel, annoyed, would pounce against Goku. Both warriors would exchange millions of blows. Both had a perfect defense, but they weren't able to connect any effective blow. Because of this, the damage that would be an outrage, because they would try not to receive blows. However, in an oversight of Ezekiel, Goku would connect a slight blow, at which first glance didn't seem like much, since the blow he gave him was with the palm of his hand. The instant Goku's hand collided with his chest, a great golden light was released, as well as incredible pain coursed through Ezekiel's body, falling to the ground vomiting blood. I don't know if it was an oversight of yours, or if you just trusted yourself hitting yourself with the palm of my hand. It wasn't an ordinary palm, it was my sacred palm. Ezekiel was on the floor, unable to stand. The entire view was blurred, due to the pain running through his body.
No, damn! How could he cause so much damage in a hit? This can't be. I haven't been able to manage to do something. If this continues, there is likely a possibility I'll lose, and I can't afford that.
Ezekiel, concentrating his internal energy, would make it travel with greater force to the center of his chest, since he was the place of the impact of Goku's palm. The pain would cease a little, however, his power had greatly decreased. Your power decreased. At this moment, you're no longer a match for me. You better leave, or this place would be your grave. Ezekiel would stand, while inside his anger consumed him. Before leaving with his pride shattered, he remembered one of the fragments of the celestial stone. With only a tiny part of that stone was able to create a prison planet.
From what I understand, the celestial stone responds to the call of the mother stone. After the explosion of the planet, I need to locate the stone, but it's obvious, since it is a bright golden in color.
Apparently you're speechless. I hope you don't cause any damage to the universe. I don't want to see your stupid face again. Ezekiel's rage was more, but he would manage to locate the celestial stone flying at high speed. Goku would notice that stone, turning his back completely to Ezekiel. You don't have to turn out to be the supposed most powerful being. Although I know you don't have all the power, I'm sure you won't be able to beat me. Goku, before leaving, would notice how everything around him began to turn a golden color. As the power of his enemy increased rapidly, all the universes trembled, but their power was condensing into Ezekiel's body that was overwhelming. So much so that due to this, Goku would fall to his knees. The pressure that his enemy released was on another level. Millions of light years away, the true and authentic king of the entire omniverse, the creator of the sacred stars and heavenly stones, would realize how one of his creations was being used for evil. That guy's not worthy of carrying one of the heavenly stones. Apparently the warrior next to him is a pure heart. He will be the savior of the entire omniverse, and will end the life of my dear son. I was not able to correct his heart, and I don't want him to end with this innocent people. Even though I've erased his memory, he continues with that evil heart. In the head of an opposing being, one of the celestial stones would appear. Disappearing from the place, returning to the battlefield, a very strange stone would appear next to Goku. But without Goku doing something, that stone would be embedded in the center of his chest. and due to this, an immense power would begin to be released from Goku's body, just as a large silver Ozaru would be seen in each and every one of the universes. Ezekiel would manage to dominate the power of the stone, making that stone placed in the center of his body, but this time it was red, just like the appearance had completely changed.
I don't know how you release so much more power. No matter how much power you release, you can't compare yourself to the power of one of the sacred stones.
Ezekiel started to approach, would notice that in the warrior's chest, one of the sacred stones continued to be embedded. Because of this, his expression was that of amazement.
How did you get one of the sacred stones? I won't let you.
Ezekiel, with his max speed, would pounce against Goku, with the intention of not assimilating the power of the sacred stone. It was too late though. Goku had his pure heart assimilate the essence of the sacred stone, unlike Ezekiel, who couldn't be completely compatible with it, because his heart was evil. A great golden and celestial glow would be released around him, while the diamond-shaped stone would form in his chest. Just as his dress and appearance would completely change, Goku would open his eyes, and an opposing being was able to be seen in the universes, leaving the deities amazed.
This goes beyond my understanding. Goku's able to overcome my power. But what surprises me the most is the ability he increases his power.
I don't know how to explain it, but thanks to Mr. Goku, all of us are alive. But we have to prepare because after this great event, I'm sure everything will change.
I agree with you, Whis. And we must know what Goku's gonna do with the angels who betrayed him. Because even though they are the guardian angels, they betrayed a beast.
I even don't know how Goku can proceed. His heart's pure, but I don't know if he's able to forgive the angels, since something like that they've done to him is unforgivable.
Returning to the Great Fortress, it was possible to see Goku, the absolute god of everything existing, because this being was able to divide the entire omniverse, being able to only have an only child with a beautiful angel. But the heart of his beloved son from a very young age was corrupted.
It is time to put an end to all this. You, my dear son, I have not been able to free all the darkness that lies inside you. I cannot end your life. I was able to sacrifice 2 of my loyal guardians to the stars to seal it so you are able to reflect, but that has only increased your evil.
Throughout the castle, a great being in silver armor would stand on the side of the absolute god.
My lord has nothing to worry about, because if you ordered me to lay down my life for you and the young prince, it would be a pleasure to serve you even after my death. My other companions must have thought the same, my lord.
Wow, I've been so thoughtful I've never noticed the moment you arrived. But even though they gave me their life with the best intentions, I never wanted my loyal soldiers to perish, much less at the hands of my son. I am so sorry. The warrior in golden armor, known as the Star of Wisdom, would put his hand on the head of the king, being able to show him an apocalyptic future where the powerful god Goku was lying on the ground, verge of death, at the hands of his own son.
My lord, the young prince was corrupted by a negative energy much older than us. For that reason, he is not able to help him, and if he did not seal it, this was the future we would face.
Goku's gaze would change to a serious one.
What are you telling me? He has an energy, a being much older than me, been able to turn my son against me? My lord, excuse me, but the mission the young prince had with the celestial luminaries, his temperament changed. Being only one who survived, I thought it was trauma. But thousands of years later, he came to the same place with incredible negative energy. Lies in that I am sure that even someone has created all that power, just as you created all the heavenly ones.
Goku was very concerned.
So this is a joke. I never thought that being in this negative energy with the same antiquity as me, it was practically impossible. For millions of years, I looked for life forms and found none. Only when the same supreme energy, I believe Mayuki, but no existence more. I'm sorry, my lord, for everything I've told you, but that's what I've seen in my research. I don't know if there is a being behind all this negative energy, but I'm sure that the young prince changed since that mission.
A Star of Wisdom would leave the place, leaving Goku on his throne. Hundreds of thoughts passed through his mind, and returning to the battlefield, Goku and Ezekiel seemed to have a very equal battle. The power of the Sacred Stone began to generate great damage through Ezekiel's body, but Goku, who every second of the battle would release much more power thanks to his Sacred Stone. Goku, with a powerful blow, was able to make him fall to the base of the planet, generating a huge explosion while Goku was slowly starting to descend. "You're no match for me. I don't know how I was able to get this great power from you, but I was able to control it. Otherwise, even my body would explode from the energy." Goku would approach his enemy, who was lying on the ground defeated. Goku would stretch out his hand, beginning to detach the Celestial Stone from his body. Because of this, the color he felt was incredible, so the loud screams would be heard over the place, and after a few minutes of suffering, Goku would remove the Celestial Stone from his enemy's chest, which served as the core. "I don't know how the hell these stones are, but they're dangerous. I'll have to protect them. I'm sure a very powerful entity must have created them." Goku would stretch out one of his hands with the intention of ending Ezekiel's life. However, a great light would make everything shine around him, because one of the sacred stars would reach the battlefield, but without any words, at an incredible speed managed to hold Ezekiel in his arms, leaving the place. "Damn it! What is this light? He's able to rescue the cursed one from Ezekiel. It doesn't matter, because all the power I have, I know I could defeat him." Goku would fly at a high speed through the universes, perceiving the energy of all the warriors in Universe 7. Due to the new level of Goku, his speed exceeded that of an angel, managing to arrive a few moments towards the planet of Beerus. The instant that Goku would arrive, a great earthquake would be caused in the place, while great silver light would be rising over the planet of the god Beerus.
So you're able to get here, but what happened to Daishinkan?
I know that there's been 100 questions, but the most important one is Zeno-sama that you asked. To be honest, I don't know where he is. Since we started, Daishinkan fled the place we were fighting.
This is bad. Daishinkan may have serious injuries. We gotta do something.
Zeno-sama, I apologize. I'm not gonna make a single one of my fingers try to help this miserable man who tried to end me. I gotta thank him, because if not for him, I wouldn't have gotten all this power. While all the divine energy was talking among themselves, Daishinkan would reach the borders of the entire universe, finding himself badly injured, while his body expelled large amounts of blood.
Damn it, I'm being humiliated by a Saiyan. I can't allow this. I don't have the required power to do something. Even if I train for millions of years, I won't be able to overcome it.
But while Daishinkan continued to lie on the floor, a great light would rise up over the planet. While in the same way, a sacred stone would appear in front of Daishinkan. But instead of being golden, this sacred stone would be purple, similar to the energy of the god of destruction.
You won't have the power of the so-called rulers, even beyond the power of the sacred star. Absorb that sacred stone. I assure you that you'll be able to become very powerful.
Daishinkan would hold the sacred stone intently. In the kingdom of the god of absoluteness, he would get to his son to recover all his memories. Because of this, he would send one of the rooms of the kingdom with the intention that he rest.
I have to investigate my own. The energy of one of the stars has informed me that this great mission I need the power of a warrior named Son Goku.
Goku, on the other hand, would be named as the new protector of the 12 universes. He would manage to get hold of the absolute power of the luminous, pure god Ultra Golden Instinct. In the dark skies of Thraxis Nocturne, the stage was transformed into a cosmic battlefield, where divine light and malevolent darkness collided in an epic confrontation. Owamo and Ewin, the guardians of this planet, displayed their celestial power with a grace and precision that defied description. The glow of the purifying light emanating from Ewin and Owamo spread across the space, illuminating the shadows that the shadow creature was trying to grasp. Ewin and Owamo's every move was a ballet of divine energy, as they gracefully dodged the dark attacks encountered with unstoppable force. Owamo's wings shone with a resplendent light, like stars in the night, as he invoked the very essence of creation to repel the dark forces rising up against him. By his side, Ewin radiated an imposing presence, with his penetrating gaze fixed on the creature as it defying the darkness itself. The shadow creature, on the other hand, was fighting with an impressive ferocity, trying to resist the overwhelming power of Ewin and Owamo. Their dark attacks were launched like ravenous shadows, seeking to consume the divine light that surrounded them. However, every attack was countered by the impenetrable force of Ewin and Owamo,
who remain firm in their purpose to protect the planet. The clash between light and darkness created a symphony of cosmic energy, with flashes of light and bursts of energy illuminating the firmament. The light will always prevail over the darkness. Your power is formidable, but it cannot resist the purity of creation.
You can't stop me. I'm the very embodiment of darkness.
Darkness can be powerful, but the real strength lies in balance, and we represent that balance.
Iwin and Owamo continued to deploy their energy with amazing precision, creating light barriers that repelled the attacks of the shadow creature. Every movement of Iwin and Owamo was imbued with a divine elegance and grace, while the creature struggled with a desperate ferocity. Our mission is to protect the harmony of the universe, and that includes protecting this planet from your darkness.
You can't stop me. I'm inevitable.
The shadow creature launched waves of dark energy, but Iwin and Owamo easily repelled them, maintaining an opposing presence in the midst of battle. Every blow of Iwin and Owamo resonated with the force of creation, while the creature struggled more and more desperately.
The darkness can be a challenge, but our determination's unwavering. We'll not let you destroy this planet.
Your power may be formidable, but it cannot equal the eternal light of the universe. The battle continued with Iwin and Owamo and the shadow creature facing off in an epic clash between light and dark. In the midst of the struggle, Father Zeno silently watched from his kingdom, perceived the magnitude of the conflict. With an imperceptible gesture, he decided to intervene, taking Iwin and Owamo to a mental plane where they could confront the shadow creature in a terrain beyond the physical. In a flash of dazzling light, Owamo and Iwin were transported to an ethereal realm, where the laws of the universe twisted and blurred. Where are we, Iwin?
We have entered the realm of the mind, a place where reality is molded according to the will of the observer. Here the real battle be fought in the deepest corners of our being.
While Owamo and Iwin were transported to a mental plane by Father Zeno, the shadow creature continued its fierce assault against the warriors of Thraxis Nocturne. Turles, Bardock, Raditz, Frieza, and Cooler, the most powerful warriors on the planet, rose up against the darkness that threatened to consume their home. The shadow creature, imbued with a dark and malevolent aura, hovered over them with an overwhelming presence. He distorted his energy, enveloping everything around him, tearing reality itself apart, and threatening to plunge the planet into an abyss of chaos.
We won't let you destroy our home, shadow monster. We, the warriors of Thraxis Nocturne, are not afraid of the dark.
We have faced much greater dangers than you, creature.
We will fight together to protect our world.
The shadow creature launched a powerful dark attack towards the warriors, but they responded with relentless ferocity. Turles, his eyes shining with determination, unleashed a shower of destructive energy, summoning the very essence of nature to channel it in a torrent of energetic attacks. Their powerful attacks cut through the darkness with devastating precision, creating dazzling explosions that lit up the planet's night sky. Bardock, with his fiery ki and indomitable spirit, channeled his energy into a powerful attack. His fists were burning with a searing intensity as he launched a concentrated burst of energy towards the shadow creature, challenging its strength with its own. Bardock's attack resonated with the determination of an invincible warrior, willing to give everything for the protection of his world. Raditz and Cooler, united in battle, joined in a coordinated assault on the shadow creature. With fluid and coordinated movements, they launched bursts of energy from different angles, creating a barrier of attacks that surrounded their enemy. The shadow creature struggled to defend itself against the combined onslaught of the two powerful warriors, but its resistance was challenged by the determination and skill of Raditz and Cooler. Meanwhile, Frieza, with his golden form glowing with a golden aura, was preparing to unleash his full power against the shadow creature. His eyes shone with a cold and calculated determination as he focused his energy on a devastating attack. With a graceful and precise movement, Frieza unleashed a burst of golden energy that swirled with unparalleled destructive power, threatening to envelop the shadow creature in a mantle of fire and destruction. The battle escalated as the warriors of Thraxis Nocturne bravely faced the darkness that threatened their world. Every blow, every burst of energy echoed through space, creating a spectacle of destruction and determination.
Meanwhile, on the mental plane, Iwamo and Iwin were engaged in a metaphysical struggle against Father Zeno, an omnipotent entity whose presence radiated an aura of indescribable power. Iwin and Iwamo, aware of the gravity of the situation, desperately sought the intervention of Father Zeno to counter the threat of the shadow creature. However, to their surprise, Father Zeno solemnly informed them that they could not intervene directly, since the balance of the universe had to be kept intact even in times of crisis. Iwamo and Iwin, although unhappy with Father Zeno's decision, understood the importance of respecting the laws of the cosmos. With determination, they plunged even deeper into the metaphysical struggle, using all their ingenuity and power to find a solution to the crisis unfolding in Thraxis Nocturne. As a confrontation on the mental plane reached its climax, Iwamo and Iwin found themselves face to face with the imposing Father Zeno. His figure radiated an indisputable authority, but also an aura of mystery that aroused restlessness in the Iwin and Iwamo. Iwamo, with his usual serenity, broke the tense silence that filled the ethereal space. "Father Zeno," he began in a firm but respectful tone, "could it be you that... were you the one who sent the shadow creatures to destroy the planets?" Father Zeno, with an unflappable expression, nodded slowly. "I did it for the good of the universe," he replied calmly. Although his voice resonated with a power that shook Iwin and Iwamo, sometimes drastic measures must be taken to preserve the cosmic balance. Iwin, with a flash of indignation in his eyes, could not contain himself anymore. "But that doesn't justify the chaos and destruction you've unleashed!" he exclaimed, his voice echoing with unshakable determination. "There are other ways to restore balance without resorting to violence and darkness." Father Zeno observed the god of destruction and his angel with a penetrating gaze, as if he were evaluating their words and their posture. "Your compassion is admirable, but sometimes it's necessary to sacrifice a few pieces to save the entire board," he said in an enigmatic tone. Iwamo and Iwin exchanged determined glances. Although they respected Father Zeno's authority, they knew that they had to follow their own principles and convictions. With courage, they prepared to challenge the omnipotent being in front of them, willing to fight for what they believed was right, even if it meant facing the divinity itself. The air on the mental plane was charged with tension, as Iwamo and Iwin prepared to face Father Zeno. Their divine auras collided in a show of titanic forces, as Iwin and Iwamo prepared to challenge the supreme being in front of them. Iwamo, with his heavenly book in hand, looked at Father Zeno with determination. "Father Zeno, although we respect your authority, we cannot allow you to continue with this destruction," he stated firmly. "We'll fight for peace and balance in the universe, even if it means standing up to you." Father Zeno, with an impenetrable calm, nodded in recognition. "Your courage is admirable, but you will not be able to stop me," he replied calmly. "The fate of the universe is in my hands, and I'll do whatever it takes to preserve its balance." Without further words, the battle began with a burst of divine energy. Iwamo unleashed his celestial power, summoning rays of light that he threw against Father Zeno, while Iwin threw waves of energy with determination. However, Father Zeno showed impressive resilience, deflecting every attack with surprising ease. The fight went on for what seemed like an eternity, with Iwin and Iwamo and Father Zeno trading punches and counterpunches in a cosmic dance of power and skill. Every movement was imbued with a supernatural force, while the mental plane trembled under the intensity of his conflict. However, as time passed, Iwamo and Iwin began to feel the weight of their opponent. Father Zeno's power was overwhelming, and every blow Iwin and Iwamo received weakened them even more. Despite their bravery and determination, it seemed that they were fighting against an impossible-to-defeat force. Iwamo, panting from the effort, looked at his companion with concern. "Iwin, we can't go on like this," he admitted sincerely. "Father Zeno's too powerful for us." Iwin, though exhausted, nodded determinedly. "I know, Iwamo, but we can't give up," he replied firmly. "We must keep fighting, for Thraxis Nocturne, and for all beings in the universe." With a final effort, Iwin and Iwamo gathered their forces to launch a final attack against Father Zeno. However, the Supreme Being easily overcame them, deflecting his power with a contemptuous gesture. Father Zeno looked at Iwin and Iwamo with a mixture of admiration and regret.
They're brave, but their struggle has come to an end,
He solemnly declared.
Accept your defeat and let fate take its course.
With a resigned sigh, Owamo and Iwin surrendered to Father Zeno's overwhelming strength. Although they had fought with all their heart and soul, they knew that they could not defeat the supreme being in front of them. Father Zeno, with a compassionate look, looked at them benevolently.
Rest now, my brave creations,
he said gently.
His bravery will be remembered throughout the universe.
Father Zeno, with an unflappable expression, extended his hand towards the exhausted Iwin and Owamo. In an instant, a powerful burst of cosmic energy emanated from his palm, enveloping Owamo and Iwin in a dazzling radiance. Iwin and Owamo screamed in agony as Father Zeno's energy enveloped them, feeling every fiber of their being torn apart under the relentless power of the Supreme Being. Their bodies, imbued with divine light, were slowly consumed in the maelstrom of energy, fading little by little into the aether of the cosmos. Owamo and Iwin fought with all their might to resist the cataclysm that engulfed them, but it was useless. The power of Father Zeno surpassed them in every respect, and they were soon reduced to mere shadows of their former glory. With the last gasp, Owamo and Iwin exploded, leaving body parts all over the mental space, dissipating into cosmic nothingness while their essence merged with the universe. At that precise moment, we return to the earthly plane, where the fierce battle between the most powerful warriors of Thraxus Nocturne and the shadow creature was reaching its climax. Bursts of energy and thunderous crashes echoed in the air, while Bardock, in the middle of the combat, glimpsed Owamo and Iwin, who were lying unconscious on the ground, enveloped in a halo of divine light. Surprise and dismay were reflected on the faces of the warriors, who momentarily stopped their frantic struggle upon realizing the situation. Bardock, his eyes wide open, watched in horror as Iwin and Owamo's bodies began to shake, emanating flashes of energy that increased in intensity with each passing second. A tense silence enveloped the battlefield as everyone watched the scene in disbelief. Suddenly, a heart-rending explosion echoed in the air, making the earth and sky tremble. Bardock and the other warriors were thrown back by the force of the explosion, protecting themselves as best as they could from the shockwave that was spreading around them. When the afterglow of the explosion faded, what was left was a smoking crater where Owamo and Iwin once stood. The warriors slowly stood up, stunned by what they had just witnessed, as the shadow creature, now shrouded in an even denser darkness, prepared to lash out again before the protecting warriors of Thraxus Nocturne. Bardock clenched his fist determinedly, feeling a mixture of sadness and fury burn inside him. He knew that they must continue the fight, not only for the honor of their planet, but also in memory of their brave fallen guardians. With a war cry, the warriors rushed into combat again, determined to avenge the loss of their comrades and protect their home from the darkness that threatened to consume it. After the devastating explosion that killed Owamo and Iwin, the warriors of Thraxus Nocturne gathered in a circle, still stunned by what had happened. Bardock, with a gloomy look, broke the silence with a grave tone.
Damn it! What the hell just happened?
Turtles, frowning, shook his head in disbelief.
I don't know, but we can't let this sacrifice be in vain. We need to get this thing over with once and for all.
Raditz, with his fist clenched, furiously nodded determinedly.
You're right! Owamo and Iwin gave their lives to protect this planet. We cannot disappoint his sacrifice.
Frieza, with his usual impassive expression, spoke in a cold and calculated tone.
The death of Iwin and Owamo should not be in vain. We must unite and concentrate our efforts on defeating that shadow creature.
Cooler, with a serious look, added determinedly,
We are facing an unprecedented threat, but if we fight together, we can overcome it. Let's do it for the honor of Thraxus Nocturne, for the legacy of our brave comrades.
Bardock nodded solemnly, his jaw tense with determination.
So, are we in agreement? We'll fight together until the end and avenge our fallen.
The warriors nodded in agreement, sharing a look of determination and unity. With their hearts filled with determination, they prepared to face once again the darkness that threatened their home. As the warriors prepared to face the shadow creature again, a fierce determination burned in their hearts. Turtles, feeling the energy of the battle, was the first to unleash his power.
It's time to show them our true power!
With a powerful scream, Turtles wrapped himself in an aura of energy. Her dark hair turned golden and her eyes shone with a dazzling intensity. The energy of the Super Saiyan emanated from his being, infusing strength and determination into his entire being. Raditz, inspired by Turtle's example, followed suit.
It's my turn!
With a burst of energy, Raditz's dark hair bristled, turning golden just like his brother's. His ki increased dramatically, emanating a commanding presence that filled the battlefield. Seeing the transformation of his comrades, Bardock also joined the fray.
I can't stay behind!
With a battle cry, Bardock unleashed all his power. His fiery aura enveloped him in a higher golden glow. His energy increased to astronomical levels, propelling him towards a higher form of his race. Frieza, observing the transformation of the Saiyans, did not want to be left behind.
The time has come to show my true strength!
With a burst of energy, Frieza transformed into his golden form of maximum power similar to 100% full power. His body radiating a golden glow. His power multiplied several times, turning him into an unstoppable force that rivaled the sunlight itself. Cooler, feeling the energy surrounding him, decided to join the fight with all his might.
It's time to unleash my true potential!
With a flash of energy, Cooler transformed into his metallic form, his body glowing with a metallic luster. His stamina and power increased exponentially, making him an invincible force that would defy even the gods. With their transformations complete, the warriors of Thraxus Nocturne once again faced the shadow creature with renewed determination and a power that eclipsed any darkness. In the skies of Thraxus Nocturne, the battle continued as the transformed warriors faced off against the shadow creature, a being whose dark power threatened to devour everything in its path. With each of the warriors unleashing their full potential, the cosmos trembled under the force of their epic showdown. The golden aura of Turles, Raditz, and Bardock, combined with the imposing presence of Frieza and Cooler in their transformed forms, formed a dazzling spectacle in the night sky. Energy flickered around them, lighting up the darkness with golden and silver flashes as they prepared for the final showdown. The shadow creature, sensing his power of his adversaries, emanated a rumbling roar that echoed through the planet. His dark form seemed to twist and distort as he prepared for the final assault.
It's time to end this once and for all!
With a battle cry, Turles lunged forward. His speed increased by his Super Saiyan form. The shadow creature responded with an onslaught of dark energy, but Turles nimbly dodged it, moving with astonishing speed across the battlefield. Raditz and Bardock followed Turles' lead, attacking with relentless ferocity. Their blows echoed in the air, each one charged with the strength of his determination and the desire to protect his home planet. The shadow creature's attacks were swift and fierce, but the Saiyans deftly dodged them, responding with even more powerful blows.
Father, let's keep the pressure on this thing! We can't let it destroy our home!
I know. We're not going to allow this monster to destroy Thraxus Nocturne. Our power is more than enough to end it.
That's right! You taught us to fight with courage and determination! We'll not back down before this creature is destroyed!
Take this!
The shadow creature dodged Bardock's attack with agility, launching its counterattack with its sharp claws.
Careful, Father!
Don't worry about me. I'm more than ready for this.
And take this too!
Raditz's attacks hit the shadow creature hard, but it quickly recovered and counterattacked with a surge of dark energy.
Damn, this thing's tougher than I thought.
We can't give up now! Our planet depends on us!
You're right. Let's show you what we're capable of.
The two Saiyans launched into the air attack once more with renewed determination. Their blows echoed in the air, each one charged with the strength of his determination and the desire to protect his home planet. The shadow creature, although resistant, was overcome by the ferocity of the Saiyans. Turles, with his golden hair flowing behind him, launched a quick series of precise punches, each one carrying with it the power of his transformation into Super Saiyan. His movements were fluid and graceful, as if he were dancing around his enemy, dodging every attack with impressive agility.
There's no escape for you, monster! Your darkness can't compete with the power of the Super Saiyan!
With a battle cry, Turles lashed out at the shadow creature, striking with overwhelming force. Every blow resounded in the air, shaking the battlefield with its power. The shadow creature was fighting desperately, but its attacks seemed weak compared to Turles' ferocity. Meanwhile, Raditz and Bardock were continuing their assault on the shadow creature. Their attacks were coordinated and precise, each complementing the other in a deadly dance of destruction. The shadow creature found itself increasingly cornered, unable to cope with the combined might of the Saiyans.
Come on, Father! We know we can stop this thing! I know, Raditz. Let's keep pushing until there's nothing left of this creature.
With renewed determination, the two Saiyans redoubled their efforts, launching a series of devastating attacks against the shadow creature. Each blow echoed in the air, carrying with it the weight of his determination and the desire to protect his home planet. Frieza and Cooler were watching the battle intently from a distance, their cold gazes evaluating every move of the Saiyans and the shadow creature. As the fight intensified, they noticed with increasing concern how the shadow creature began to gain more strength, releasing a dark energy that threatened to destabilize this situation.
It seems that the things are getting more complicated than I expected. Yes, the shadow creature seems to be gaining ground. If we don't intervene soon, we could face an even more dangerous situation.
With a cold determination, Frieza and Cooler exchanged a glance before heading towards the battlefield. His presence made itself felt immediately. His overbearing aura flooded the area as they prepared to face the shadow creature.
Looks like we need to intervene before things get out of control. I agree. We cannot allow the shadow creature to wreak more havoc on our planet.
With surprising speed, Frieza and Cooler launched into action, deploying all the power in an effort to contain the shadow creature. His attacks were precise and devastating, each blow carrying with it the weight of his determination and the desire to protect his home. However, the shadow creature was not going to be easily defeated. With a thunderous scream, he split into 4 separate beings, each one darker and more malevolent than the last. The earth trembled under their weight as they advanced towards the warriors, ready to unleash their fury on them.
It seems that this creature has more tricks up its sleeves than we thought. It doesn't matter. We have our own tricks.